card. I think we're still going to be getting things like Ranger, Galena, Keel. I don't think he'll put a Nyx in there. I'm not sure.
Galena, I'm also seeing as a likely pick.
Galena, I mean, I think Galena is like a dead cert. Like, I'll be super surprised if we don't see her. If you can get that upper mega health control, and you'll see it on the map, guys, if you're unfamiliar with it. When you go through a teleporter down by the lightning gun, there's a spot up at the top by the teleport. You put a totem there, and the player knows they can no longer go through that route unless they take an alternative one and eliminate that totem from, you know, the equation and from any danger of them acquiring that control.
Yeah, and it's not that easy to get an angle on those totems either. There's no way to get to them from below and without actually just waking your way up there yourself. So
it's dangerous doing that.
Yeah, it's very dangerous doing that. So you can really get some totems set up right there, get that boost over time. The more tokens you get up, once you get 3 of them on the map simultaneously, you do get that overstack boost.
Yeah, which is kind of why you find champion like Ranger, because if you really have that very small window of time in order to get up there and take control, you can orb up there, or you can expend less health with a rocket jump because of his passive, and you can just quickly get rid of those totems to, you know, to stop any kind of troubles. And Keel as well. Yeah. Small hallways, kill with the grenades, he's brilliant, especially just down from below by the heavy armor. If you're walking around from Mega to Tri-Bolt, you've always got to watch out for that.
There's so many choke points, so many corners. Razy said it himself earlier, he picked Keel on this map, but then when he went on to Corrupted Keep, which is also a pretty anything but on Veil of Nav, he's such a strong champion here.
Yeah, completely. But that's why I think, depending on how these players are feeling, maybe I think Xron more likely is going to feel like I've got to throw a wild card pick into this. Maybe instead of a Ranger or a Keel, he's going to decide to use something else. There is Clutch available. Xron
that's true.
has definitely been known to use Clutch, but I don't know if he wants to risk it, because it's very difficult to play that champion at the moment. But if you can do it right, it is tremendously effective. Why does it look like he's on the brink of laughing or something?
He's posting something.
Is he flaming someone? I don't know. I feel like he's up to no good.
I also think we might see a Nyx, because Nyx, when she's in her Ghost Walk, she will actually take down those totems. So if one of the players decides to go with Galena, I would not be surprised if we would see a Nyx as a counter pick. Yeah. Getting that Ghost Walk up, going through the teleporter, you will destroy the totems without taking any damage.
Let's find out now what they're going to get
Enough
up to.
Speculation.
I love speculating. All right, so the Galena, Xron, surely first pick as well, yeah. And now it's where it gets interesting. So going for Ranger follow-up. I expect Ranger too, and now it's interesting. Are they going to go for Keel? Is he going to decide for something a little bit alternative?
Well, Xron is taking his time, using all the time, or Rapha rather is taking his time, using all the possible seconds he has, and he is going to go for Keel. Xron.
Is he going to go for the clutch? Or is he going to decide to mirror? Or maybe Nyx, as he said?
Because the clutch could work. I mean, that shield is a really good counter to the grenades.
True. This is losing all the time. He's going for the Nyx.
Okay.
All right. Very interesting.
Definitely.
Hey, we did a good job of that map.
We actually basically
we nailed it.
Yeah,
okay.
we definitely did. This is going to be an interesting map.
Now, I think if his Nyx play can be really on point, I know it was the ban that Wenger used against Xron in their match. Xron's got an incredibly good Nyx, but it's whether he can make use of it. If he uses the Ghost Walk, there's loads of hourglasses in the rail room, but Rapha's going to know that, and I think that's going to be an area he's really going to focus on when going against that champion. I believe we're going to be heading into the game in one moment, guys. Remember, the winner of this match is going through to the grand final and play the eventual lower bracket winner, and they'll go into a best-of-5 with a 1-map advantage. So it's pretty damn significant. Getting that map advantage is huge, and here we are, Fleet. We are into game, and on Xron's point of view to begin with the Galena versus Galena.
Yeah, not a surprising start whatsoever. Galena, of course, one of the prime picks for this map. Xron down over at the railgun side, trying to get himself some resources. Rapha has got the Mega to his name, looking good, and Xron still wants to get an LG. He wants to get the rockets, but Rapha, so far, expertly denying both.
Hello. Finds him below. There's maybe rockets. He's got a good job with 2 totems. Oh, he got Goomba stopped there by Rapha. He's going to lose out a bunch of resources. He's got to escape somehow. I think Rapha wants to chase it up. If he has the rail, he could go for it, but LG, you know what? That might just hit the spot.
Yeah, that's going to be it. First frag will be going to Rapha. The Goomba stomp, as you just called it. Perfectly done by Rapha. I think Xron for a second looked up, trying to figure out, oh, what?
Not really delayed. Good luck, have fun.
Xron was just standing there throwing out a good luck, have fun.
I think it might have been like an enter or something. I don't know. I can't imagine it's like I'll say it after the first frag. This is how we're going to do things. I'm going to set a new trend.
Yeah.
But there's a quick second kill.
Oh wow, the tracking, the 9's coming out. Xron.
Oh my god, he's used it with like 5 health left. He's put out Ghost Wall. He's going to go through the teleporter, and I think he's going to die now. There's no chance of survival. Really, pretty straightforward round.
Yeah, definitely. Rapha strong, showing off how dominant he can be. Keep in mind, however, that this is still his map pick, so it is to be expected that he will be more comfortable on it than his opponents. As we are moving into round 2, let's see. Gonna get a different start. Yeah, and this time around, Xron. Oh no, he's still gonna go with the Galena. This is good from Xron.
Alright, he just hits the rockets and Rapha's just suspended in the air and is like, oh, I can't do anything. I can only maximize my damage, but I'm essentially screwed over here.
Yeah. Rapha not gonna come through the teleporters indeed, just going to back out of there. Oh, Xron is gonna hear that doorway open, but damn, takes a huge rocket. That's so good from Rapha.
He was in a lot of trouble. He was hanging around there, but he was so early for the heavy armor. Rapha, I mean, it was weird because Xron, I think, got the first heavy, so he should have been there on time, not getting in the way. He hits the rail, tries to go for the...
Oh, why?
Okay, he hits the rail afterwards.
That was just such an outcome you wouldn't expect. Oh, and here we go. Xron landing some good opening rockets, but grenades are gonna phase him out of the room. Rapha really low. One more rail or a good rocket will finish him off. Xron can't find the angle. Now he's in trouble. Rapha is gonna barrel down on him and get the frag with the machine gun. Xron.
Rapha's just getting rid of that angle, making it so that he can't get the last shot and just kind of baiting him. He's like, oh, you want to kill me? You want to kill me? And then turns it around at just a beautiful moment. Rapha's holding around by the Mega, maximizing damage he can get out. Does a little wall jump. Maybe even a rail would have killed Xron then.
Xron is so conservative with that Ghost Walk, and again, Rapha will drop down. Xron manages to evade him, but he drops right back down into the LG. I think Xron is being a little bit too slow on the Ghost Walk. He's using it at the very last possible second, which, I mean, of course you can get away doing that, but you're left with 5 HP, 20 HP, something along those lines.
I think he was expecting that rail to kill Rapha, whereas... Because it doesn't make sense to just stand there after and you're like, oh... He knew he died. As soon as that rail hit and didn't kill him, he was like, okay, I've made a big mistake.
Another fight, Rapha getting his hands on that LG. Xron doing a good amount of damage with the railgun, but he's stuck in a bad corner. Great exit rail.
Oh no, the total goes
Mutual.
through. He gets the rocket. I don't think Rapha meant to drop down like that, but he'll take it. Galenas are now out of the mix. Rapha down to the rockets. Mega health has been taken by Xron. He was probably going to be able to get the heavy too.
Rapha trying to do some damage on that, won't succeed. Timing the rocket right, and he still needs a railgun. It's gonna be the next weapon that the American is gonna try and get his hands on, and there's a nice split between two major items. This should allow Xron to set up a lot of control and cycle between the two of them nicely.
Doesn't catch wind that he's over at the heavy machine gun. He's kind of playing it very stable right now. He's hoping that Rapha will walk into him a little bit. He gets railed. It's a half-decent rocket. He'll take it. He's now going to find him in the middle. Going with the LG. Rapha backing off from that distance. Baiting with the Dire Orb. And this should be a frag for Xron.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good plays by Xron. Rapha trying everything he could think of to get out of the situation alive, but he didn't have the health and he was stuck in a bad position. And now here we go, Xron pushing in. Rapha doesn't quite have the weapons, but wow! The grenade followed by the rail, and then that's gonna be the end. Xron going down, both players down to their final champion right now.
Xron definitely felt he had the distance to dodge the grenade, but he ended up walking right into one. There's Nyx moving through, hitting rails. Rapha continuing to stack right back up again. Xron has taken a heavy, however. He's just got to find a clean angle. There's a rail. He's not paying for it so much now. And he's going to try and push through. Great use again of the choke points from Rapha, just to make it really difficult to get close. Oh.
Beautiful rail. Xron is going to be reeling from that one. He had an opportunity, and now he's 30 seconds out of getting his Ghost Walk back again, and that's so crucial for him in this matchup because Keel can have such an enormous stack compared to a small, squishy champion like Nyx. But here we go. Rapha down to just 20-something points of health. This is an opportunity for Xron. Rapha does get heavy though, but what an aggressive rocket jump. Xron caught in place.
I think that was such a good move from Rapha. He's like, what can I do against that? You can see he was on the bounce pad and he thought, man, I did not expect that rocket jump. Not getting the kill over at heavy, that extra 25 below shotgun. And the rocket jump across, that was actually super sick from
Yeah,
Rapha.
that was an amazing play. Xron just not ready for it at all. I did like the wall jump he did when inside of the bounce pad. Because usually it's a death sentence. Once you get back down that bounce pad, you're stuck. But he used that double jump or the wall jump so nicely to get out of it.
To me, it looked like when he saw the rocket jump and the Mega was taken, he realized I still don't have Ghost Walk up for 5 seconds or so. It was like, oh, you just got the royal flush on the flop.
Yeah.
You just revealed your cards, and I'm down. I'm dead now. He's like, I had an answer to everything you had, apart from that. Because that was just really, really nice thinking from Rapha. And overall, that map was, I don't want to say it, it was one-sided as hell.
It was very
really good from Rapha.
It was routine.
Yeah.
It was, Rapha played his game. Xron just wasn't able to find any way into it. And that means that we will next off be moving into Awoken. Now this is Xron's pick.
What kind of things are you expecting here? Do you think Xron's going to win this? I don't know. I want to ask him.
I mean,
Prediction.
Rapha is going to win this one. It's going to win the entire matchup. But Awoken, I think, could be a map that Xron can come back on. I think it will suit him a lot better than Veil.
Okay.
He again has a railgun to play with. Might be able to zone Rapha out a bit more. And it's something that he even managed to do on this map too. Somehow he did quite a bit of damage to Rapha from a distance, and then he closed the gap, but unfortunately wasn't able to always finish it off.
What about champions that we're thinking about? I think we're going to see the Nyx from Xron again.
Yeah.
I don't think he played Nyx that great on Veil, but honestly, I think that's more down to how comfortable he is on that map versus Rapha rather than the champion itself. I think he's going to pick that here still. Galena, I suspect both players will use again. Really useful defensively when you're able to block that one single big shot when you put down the totem, obviously the heals and so on and so forth. What about after that?
I'm expecting a Ranger.
Okay.
Especially, we saw it on Veil already, and I think that there's so many good angles that you can use Ranger on Awoken. Like, you can go from heavy to mega through that tiny little gap in the wall so quickly, so I'm definitely expecting to see Ranger come out of Rapha. That's my call.
So I reckon Nyx Galena most likely for Xron, and honestly, he could do anything after that.
Yeah.
Are we going into it? Okay, we're going into it at the moment.
Yeah.
Rapha's going to pick first. He's going with the Ranger. Good call.
Yeah. Now let's see what Xron's gonna pick to counter this. Is he just gonna counter pick, or is he gonna go what we predicted? Galena Nyx.
I think Galena. Oh, okay. I was expecting the Nyx out mid. I wonder what he's thinking of not using, or if it is just going to be Ranger Galena Nyx. There's the Ranger, there's the Nyx.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Now Rapha cannot use his Visor to counter that Nyx. Visor is his self-proclaimed best champion too. Probably why he's banned him right away. Doomslayer.
I wasn't expecting this
Nope,
from Rapha.
not at all. It's
from anyone actually.
And a
Keel.
Keel.
So he's going to stick with Keel
Wow.
going onto Awoken. That's very interesting.
yeah, because Awoken, I mean, it's still it's not a bad map for Keel, but it's a lot less suited for him than Veil was. It's a lot more open.
And okay, so Xron is actually ended up going to go for like Galena. They're kind of the three that I guess we would have expected a bit more, but really interesting stuff from Rapha with his picks. Doom isn't seen loads at the moment, even though he's actually very strong. That double jump is great for getting you safe from rockets to the light armor. There's other gaps where the old hourglasses used to be to the rail, and easy jumps over from Mega Side to the rail, and you've got this number of them over at Tribal, LG, etc., etc. That's going to be great mobility for him, and I'm very curious if he's going to look at using Berserk with Doom aggressively, defensively, mix and match.
Yeah, you usually do it defensively. You just get, because you instantly hit that top speed, so you can get out of these tricky situations very easily. Defensively is something else entirely, because it's a lot more sketchy, but here we go, we're already into the match. Xron already running away for his life. Rapha outstacking him tremendously.
Oh, he wants to deny it. He's gonna definitely deny it.
There we go.
He did it. And hourglasses now have moved a little bit on this map. We've got two on this banana area where there used to be three. Oh no! Oh, deny. Okay, there was no out of bounds. Rapha saved him the embarrassment or anything. I mean, it's fine. You got pushed out. Sirius has done worse things. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rapha himself has a history of some out of bounds action himself. But here we go.
Rapha's edge.
Yeah, Rapha's edge. Xron, right now, after dropping the first champion, does have pretty good stack. Looking for Rapha. He's still missing that LG, though. That could be a difficult situation. So much tribal damage. 35 HP. Oh my god, Xron got stuck on the corner.
That was an awesome rail from Xron. He's looking for that shot on the exit. He just hits the top of the teleporter. I was actually going to say, one thing to definitely look out for, guys, is the rail that Xron has. He's looking for another. He misses a crucial shot, but he's picked up health. The punch comes through, but he needed one more, and it was a brilliant weapon selection from Xron.
Yeah, very nicely done by Xron. Rapha trying to go for the Berserk Punch, perhaps expecting to have done more damage to Xron than he did. Maybe hoping that that first punch would be enough to get the kill. Fortunately for him, it wasn't, and now we're going to see another fight up for heavy. Good read by Xron. Rapha rocket jumping up, almost hitting him with that mid-air, but Rapha himself is pretty low.
Oh!
Aggressive pushes all around, but it won't pay off this time.
Nicely done from Xron. That's a way to, like, make yourself feel better. It was a brutal Veil, and I think he needed something to kind of help, you know, start building some momentum at all. And that was a really, really good round for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Xron getting back into this. This is going to be a good mental break for him too. After losing that first map the way he did, this is going to feel nice. Probably set him up for a good second round as well. This time Xron starting off on the Galena. Rapha on Ranger.
Xron doesn't even look away. He's like, I'm just going to focus on you. Trying to hit a good last shot. He knows that a decent rocket probably could have had in the frag, but it was great movement from Rapha and cleaning up with still a decent amount of health and armor to go.
Yeah, Rapha definitely amazing dodges right there, and Xron I think stuck around a little bit too late, perhaps a bit too confident, but the damage just wasn't coming, and then he waited so long putting down that totem. But here we go, Rapha's gonna find Xron off the bat, no rails connected. Really nice orb, just cutting off the escape route right there. Xron does manage to get out though, and now Rapha's got good control of the center part of the map. Inventive jumps coming out. But Nyx so squishy, so low. Rapha must have heard that.
He's just waiting for the rocket and is like, and I don't even want to look at the explosion. I've got a good feeling you're going through that teleporter. Fantastically done by Rapha. Even though I liked that Xron was pushing in when the orb was on cooldown, it was just too much damage had arrived too soon.
Not much you can do against that, and now Rapha already has got a good lead on Xron, doing a little bit of damage. Both major items are up at the exact same time, and that's gonna be tricky. This could be Xron's way back in. If he can stick Rapha in this area for a little bit longer, and then maybe get himself on heavy or mega.
Well, the timing of this, it just turned up, but the rail comes out from Xron.
Yep.
And it's just not the right weapon to have there. LG, and he could have started getting the damage out, but he gets to go back and he gets to have the heavy armor himself. And the stacks are very equal. Good rocket. Rail misses. Rapha's able to pull away though on the reload and not take too much damage himself.
Yeah, Xron looking pretty good right now, getting that 100 pretty comfortably, but this is not a fight he wants to take. Oh my god, the rail! Rapha.
Just as clean as the first round looked, the second one was just the same, but for Rapha's favor.
Yeah. This is a lot less of a consistent game for either of these players. Might see it go all the way to the 5th round.
It's possible.
Yeah, not something we've seen much of today, actually.
I'm not confident about that. I need to see Xron get into 2 before I'd even contemplate it. I'm not sure he can yet, but he's shown us he's capable of taking rounds off Rapha.
Oh. Nice jump, using the wall to get some extra air and doing a lot of damage with the nail gun as well. But Rapha is again the faster one to set up on the middle area of the map. He's got freedom of movement, he knows where he wants to go. And Xron is now stuck in the LG area. He doesn't have a rail, he doesn't have a rocket. This is a difficult situation for him.
He's happy to chill for another 10 seconds. Let's go find some hourglasses.
Xron doesn't have the Ghost Walk though. 5 seconds left, he's gonna go for it anyways. Does manage to get out alive. No issues there.
I think he'd like the rail gun. I mean, rail is such a good weapon for him. He really needs to be picking it up as often as possible. But he's the one taking all the damage.
Oh, I clenched right there, not gonna lie. Rapha forcing out the Ghost Walk, and oh my god, the plays by Rapha. That's why people call him the tactician of Quake. He knew. He just knew that Xron was gonna go through the teleporter, and he countered it perfectly with a rocket jump, and now Xron's such a bad position.
That's over. Yeah. Over 1 champion to go. Rapha making that second kill look even easier than the first. LG's very good. Xron's got a chance, but there's 8 health left for Rapha. Maybe it was a mutual frag at best, but that is already...
Yeah.
How long have we been casting this game for, man? Because it feels like I just got
short.
here.
This has been a short one, that's for sure. I think Xron at the very end a little bit slow to react right there, because, yeah, it just... He didn't expect Rapha to come through at all. And here we go, Rapha getting himself the mega of the spawn. rockets will be his too. And Xron is starting this one off. The next, guess that is the champion that he still thinks he has the best shot with. Rockets. Yeah. Oh, that's good from Xron.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, that was a lot of damage that he hit just then. I was not expecting Rapha's health to trickle down quite as fast as that. I'd love to see Xron now running the new route on the hourglasses when he has a chance.
Yeah.
Terrell, he hasn't picked up the LG still, and he has to move away because that sort of mid to short range fight is so difficult when Rapha's on the high ground.
Xron doing some good damage there, though. He's definitely keeping Rapha in check right now. His aim seems all much better than it did earlier. Rapha now in a pretty risky situation. Xron doesn't have anything to punish him with, though. And this is so good for the American. If he can land the shot, out comes the Ghost Walk.
I think the Ghost Walk literally just went off cooldown as well.
Definitely did. Xron playing it fast. He's got one champion lead so far, but with 4 minutes to go, he definitely cannot sit back and wait this one out, especially as Rapha on that heal is starting to stack up.
Rapha surely saw him then. I don't know if you caught us there. Oh wow, what a shot from Xron.
Yep.
He was waiting the whole time. I'm pretty sure he saw the heavy getting picked up, and he's only playing defensive because he wants that Ghost Walk available. I'm very surprised he never actually picked up the lightning gun. He was in that LG room the whole time, didn't even get the weapon.
Probably afraid of the sound cue. Didn't want to give away his position, picking up that weapon to Rapha, expecting the American.
Fired the rail. Pick it up when you fire the rail. You've already given away your position.
Yeah.
Just go for it then. Okay, he's got the lightning gun now.
Finally. Xron's rail is definitely what's making Rapha rethink a lot of his moves right now. It's the defining weapon for this round. And another minute has passed.
It feels really like Xron's changed gears heavily from earlier in the map. He's gone a lot more passive. He's gone a lot more just, I want to play the distance game. I want to get a couple of rails on you before I'm actually going to commit to a fight at all because of the amount of damage that Keel can do in a close range environment. And now there's going to be heavy in a second. Xron's like, I can't commit to that. And he is so low now. He's going to have to use his Ghost Walk if he gets caught out over here. Found another health bubble. Rapha's missed the initial damage, but here comes the LG. He's going to hit one rail. Ghost Walk will be used. He's going to escape through the upper area.
And he's got another lifeline, but here he goes. Oh my god, both players so low. Xron still in it to win it, though. He actually managed to come out on top right there.
That was really good from Xron. Incredibly good. There's a rail over there. He needs to have presence now on the heavy. And once he's picked up this item... Oh, the angle! It was too good to be true! Oh, the rocket through the hole in the wall. That is going to be one more frag needed to tie up the rounds. Oh, almost. He fractures those a lot. He actually hits the second. All right. Oh, wow. Wall jump over him? And that would have avoided a kind of a die roll more easily, I think.
He's got to be careful, though. He cannot just get caught up in the momentum that he has and start playing overly confident, because that might still cost him. We all know it. Rapha is one of those players who makes the comeback happen more so than anyone else. I think I've seen him come back in like more last second games than anyone else.
Yeah.
And Rapha is indeed back in control. There's a minute and a half left to go. Xron caught out. Doesn't have his Ghost Walk. Rapha barreling down on him. And there comes the orb. Nicely done. Rapha set to take control now too, but he's on the hunt.
I wonder what Xron can do now. It's a minute and 15. He needs to get the weapons. He's got some rockets. He's got rail now. He'll be lacking the lightning gun. Is he going to opt to go for a defensive play and just try to keep Rapha at bay? Is he going to contest the items? It's very easy now for him to push himself off the map, which is why he's trying to do damage at the moment, but there's a rail. Hole in the wall is being accountable for a few frags, just this round even.
Oh my god, no, Xron! The rockets hurt too much. Rapha, 2-0.
He found that one a little bit stressful there. Bit of relief, but the series is over. Rapha's going to take it 2-0 versus Xron. Second map, I think, was a lot closer. We saw a lot better plays from Xron. I don't think he'll be happy with his performance, but I think he'll be relieved that he didn't showcase, what happened on Veil.
Yeah.
The same on Awoken.
Yeah, no, he definitely did better on the second map. It was his own map pick. Definitely pushed Rapha back quite a bit, but we are about to move into an interview with the winner.
I see my name.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we're going to get an interview in just a couple of moments with Rapha. We can find out his thoughts. Jorasar is going to be up on the stage.
Based on what we know of the last time you guys met, I'm arguably talking to you a little bit quickly compared to last year. Talk me through what you noticed about what's changed in your opponent's playstyle?
I just don't think, compared to the last time we met, that he was as ready to have an escape option. And there were a couple times where as soon as I knew that I made a right trade, I immediately put the pedal to the metal and just made sure I never let off the gas with like how much pressure I was applying, and I was just trying to take my control to the absolute limit, and it really worked out. And as you can see there on that last round, as soon as I got it, I didn't let go, because he was playing very, very well, like the first part of that that round. Yeah, and then just, once I found that opening, sealed the deal.
In order to find that opening, because Xron just played the start of that second map so well, was it something that you had to shift in your own gameplay, or do you think it was more a mistake from him that allowed you to get in there and close out the map?
Well, I was playing really well, just he made a really good, he made a gamble up at like T is what we call it, at the top of the map, and managed to catch me out and did so much damage, and I had nothing to take, and he got full control off of it. But I just knew, like, when I had him trapped in LG room again, he didn't have invis this time. It was like at least 15 seconds before it came up. So I knew, like, that was my moment. If I do that, then, you know, I can get control of the map, Mega's coming up, and that's exactly what I did.
And you're now, of course, into the grand final of your group to move on to tomorrow. Now, that in itself is a big advantage, because everyone else who might have to face you will be coming from the lower bracket, and I believe you'll be starting with that one map advantage. Based on how you've played today anyway, it doesn't look like you'd need it, but does that ease the pressure on you at all, or is it still just business as usual?
I mean, any advantage helps, so I'm definitely not going to pass up the one map advantage. I don't know, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and keep adapting, like, and just make sure that I don't get stuck in some routine, and just keep thinking on my feet. And because I know whoever I play, whether it's Ron again or Wenger, they're going to be playing really well, and I need to play just as well as I did again to make it through to tomorrow.
Playing extremely well, but of course not taking his foot off the gas. We will be seeing Rapha in the Deciders match once the lower bracket matches are complete. Analysts, go ahead and talk us through how that